Hello everyone, this is Excalibur, and welcome back to What's the Combo? This time we look at one of the, the more fun card combinations you can get together. It's, Deadeye Navigator and Palinchron, but there are a couple other cards that do the same thing as Palinchron, and we're going to take a look at that right now. Well, Deadeye Navigator, if you haven't heard of him, is a 6-drop creature that is 5/5. He has the Soul Bond ability, which allows you to pair him with another unpaired creature when either enters the battlefield, and they remain paired for as long as you control both of them. So, for instance, if I'll explain how it works, but whenever a creature comes into play, you can attach Deadeye Navigator to it, and then they'll both gain abilities. That's pretty much what Soul Bond does. Most of the Soul Bond creatures give both creatures in the bond the same ability. And when they are not in the bond, neither has the ability. And this happens when a creature comes into play, or if Deadeye Navigator comes into play with a creature on the board. Well, the ability for Deadeye Navigator is, as long as Deadeye Navigator is paired with another creature, each of those creatures has, and this is the ability, 1 in blue, : exile this creature, then return it to the battlefield under your control. Now, the insidiousness of this is that the 1 in the blue and the colon doesn't have the tap symbol, so you can immediately pay that as soon as is necessary. And that is a major issue there, because if you can do the ability right when Deadeye Navigator or the other creature comes into play, it can go infinite very quickly. And it goes infinite because of Palinchron. Palinchron will net you 5 mana every time this combination goes off. So what happens is you have either Deadeye Navigator or Palinchron in play. When Palinchron comes into play, you can untap up to 7 lands. His casting cost is 7. He's a 4/5 flyer. Now, one of the issues with Palinchron is normally you could just pay 4 and then put him back into play. So you'd have to have 11 to get any type of use out of it. But you'd be untapping. It's diminishing returns, because every time you pay the 4, you have to pay 7 to put him back into play. Well, with Deadeye Navigator, that changes things, because now his casting cost is technically 2. So you tap all 7 of your lands, and then using 2 of those, 1 blue and 1 of anything else, you flicker Deadeye Navigator and Palinchron out of the game, you exile them, then you bring them back in, and you pair them up again. So where you had 2 mana out of the 7 you had floating, you have 5 floating now, and 7 lands immediately untap. If you've got double lands, then you're going to generate a crap ton of mana. But if you have like 7 islands, for instance, this will give you infinite blue mana, 5 per iteration of this ability, because when he comes in, then you pay 2 again, leaving 5 floating, added to the 5 that's already theirs for 10 floating, and they're going to flicker, come back, and untap the 7 lands. Then you pay 2, you tap all your lands again, for a total of 17, you pay 2, have 15 floating to flicker them, and then when they come back, you untap the 7 lands again. And so on and so forth, infinitum ad nauseum, so forth, all the words that mean infinite. So, that's Palinchron, and that does 5 mana per turn. A cheaper alternative by it's 5 mana instead of 7, is a Peregrine Drake, and he untaps up to 5 lands. Pretty much the same exact thing, only you're netting 3 per turn. Now, the Great Whale, not many people seem to think of the Great Whale when they use this combo. It's usually Palinchron, because I think it's flying and its return ability, but the Great Whale does the same exact thing as Palinchron, 100%, and he's tougher by 1 power, but he just doesn't fly, and he can't be returned to your hand. So those two are pretty much identical functionally for this combo. And then there's Cloud of Fairies, which I haven't seen many people use, but it is a possible combo, and when Cloud of Fairies comes into play, untap up to 2 lands. If you've got dual lands, then Cloud of Fairies is going to do the same thing as these guys here. So you untap you tap all your land, you tap 2 double lands, 2 of them pay for the 1 in the blue, and then Cloud of Fairies comes out back into the game, and you get 2 per turn if you have 2 double lands that you're constantly flickering, constantly untapping. So these guys will get you all the mana that you want, and in many cases, so long as you have 2 blue initially to cast and at least 1 blue available, you are going to have mana of any color. But generally it's a blue and another color, or maybe 3 colors. I rarely see this in a 4-color deck. But these 4 will generate you infinite mana every time. And then you just pump it into something that does a crap ton of damage or draws you a crap ton of cards or something along those lines. One way to do that is to have this in a blue-black deck with Exsanguinate. And then you Exsanguinate everybody to death. Or you do this in combination with particular Storm combinations. And we'll go over Storm in another episode. That's a completely different story, but I think it's like the Storm of Tendrils combo that you kill everybody off with infinite castings of a certain card. The general thing is you have Great Whale, and then you make a bunch of mana with Palinchron of the Great Whale, or to a lesser extent, Peregrine Drake or Cloud of Fairies, and you just power anything and everything that takes X in its casting cost. So if you're running blue-white, then you can put out a bunch of cats with White Sun Zenith, or you can draw infinite cards with Blue Sun Zenith, or give infinite -1/-1 counters with Black Sun Zenith. You see where this is going. You could, if a lot of that is black mana, you can power Pestilence to kill everybody. You name it. Anything that can take a lot of mana in its casting, usually X spells, will work. Imagine a Fireball, or any of the X-based burn cards where you can just pay an additional mana per extra target, and you burn everybody to death. The possibilities are endless. I didn't see a lot of damage you could do with blue, but generally this combo is put with in a blue-black deck or blue-red deck. One of the other things you can do is have things like Warstorm Surge in play, and then every time you do the flicker, a random opponent gets hit. Or if you have Perforos, then every time the creature comes back from the flicker, it's 2 creatures, so it's going to be 4 damage every turn. So Cloud of Fairies becomes an instant infinite damage combo with Perforos. Or even with Warstorm Surge, they become infinite damage. So as soon as Deadeye Navigator hits, you can be sure that Palinchron or Great Whale are going to be close behind, or even Sylvan Primordial if you're running blue-green. But this is all blue, so you can easily put together a blue deck with all 4 of these cards in there to enable this combo to go off for infinite enter the battlefield, exit the battlefield triggers. So that's pretty much it. This is a pretty short episode because Deadeye Navigator is that broken. It's not like Kiki, where there's so many different combos and so many different ways to use her that it's scary. This just generates crap tons of mana and crap tons of enter the battlefield and exit the battlefield effects. So Deadeye Navigator is a really broken card when it comes to creating these kinds of infinite mana solutions. It is one of my hopes that Deadeye Navigator is curtailed in a future update with 1 blue and a tap. Exile the creature, then return it to the battlefield under your control. So you do that with a creature that does not have haste, and you'd be able to curtail this kind of effect. But Deadeye Navigator's out there, and if anybody has their hands on it, they're running any type of modern or EDH or anything that allows this set. And the cool thing is, Peregrine Drake is actually modern legal. So, well, he might not be modern legal. That's, what is he from? What set is he from? Let's take a look. It may be that he is not... let's see here. Where is Peregrine Drake? He is from Urza Saga, so he is actually not modern legal either. So none of these guys are actually modern legal. They are, I believe they're legal in Legacy. Let me take a look. Legality. Yep, they're definitely legal in Legacy. So you can see this in Legacy. You will not see it in Modern. You'll see it in EDH. So, and they are not standard, and they're not legal in Standard, of course. So that's all I have for you today. Deadeye Navigator plus Palinchron. Super amounts of mana, really scary amounts of mana, really fast. And that's pretty much all she wrote. By the way, you might see this Gave over here. Keep an eye out next month for that or another deck tech, because I'm still working on that deck. I've got a couple of deck techs coming, one per month, and we'll see how that goes. Anyway, until next time, enjoy playing games, enjoy playing Magic. Please like, favorite, and subscribe. It really helps me to know what people are watching, and if you like the video, I know that you liked it. If you subscribed, I know that you like the content that I'm producing, and better yet, if you like favoriting is optional, but if you like, subscribe, and comment, I think I might change it to like, favorite, subscribe, and comment, because comments actually tell me directly from you what you liked, what you didn't like, if I made a mistake, or some other kind of noob thing that I've done. If you could please visit www.patreon.com/ExcaliburZone and become a patron. It only takes $1 a month, less than the cost of a soda in the U.S. And the awesome thing is, the more patrons I have, the closer I get to making my dream come true of working with games full-time, producing content full-time, and written text and audio form, and to attend conventions and cover new games that come out and produce Let's Learns and Let's Plays and introductions and a whole bunch of other things. So please visit my Patreon page and become a patron today. As always, this is Excalibur, and I am out.